All right, welcome to Croquet Network. I'm Dylan Goodwin, and today I have with me Alison Maugham from Croquet England, and she's going to spend some time, and I'm going to ask her some questions today. But welcome to my little YouTube channel here, and how are you doing on this Friday afternoon? I guess it's about happy hour time, right?
Oh, almost.
Yeah.
I'll be sending the other half off to the shop very soon for something rather red and rather yummy. But it's Friday afternoon. The school run has ended and we're back to the desk for the final hour or two of the day.
Okay, well, great. It's going to be fun to talk some croquet with you, but I guess I'm going to start with a little bit of background. How did you kind of get into croquet, and just a little bit about you, and yeah, I guess your interest in the sport.
Okay, so in the beginning, we're probably talking about when I was 8, and my dad, Cliff Jones, he played croquet. So he took it up because I think he was down at Sidmouth Croquet Club, which is a gorgeous place. It's by the coast, sea on one side, croquet lawns on the other. And we were down on a family holiday, and he saw it, across the way, and thought, well, what's this about? And I think he went and got a book or something, learned all about it, fell in love, and that was the end of that. At the time when I was 8, I think I might have gone on the lawn a few times. There's a picture of me on the lawn. But essentially I didn't take it up for a very long time afterwards. It was when I was about 31, 32 that I then took it up. Maybe 33 or 34, I'm not quite sure. Early 30s, and here I am, early 40s, still going, but now not just playing, in the whole everything. I live croquet pretty much. So having played for several years, I then went into coaching at my club, being an assistant coach. I went straight into championship play, because who doesn't want to play against the best players in the world as soon as you can? I became most improved player for that particular year, and eventually I married a croquet player, so we're a very croquet playing household. And then I took on a full-time role talking about croquet all the time.
Yeah, so your role with Croquet England, I mean, that's expanded a lot just in the past few years, but can you explain kind of all the stuff that you are doing with that organization?
Yeah, sure. So in the beginning, I was just a volunteer like everyone else, and we're all volunteers here. Across the world, croquet is a massively volunteer-led organisation, and it's very rare actually to find paid-for roles in croquet, especially in the UK, I think. But it became apparent. I felt that I could do a lot more if I could put more time in. So I have to admit, I did beg for it. Please let me show you what I can do. And I think I've proved my worth. I think some of the simple things that I've done is I've put more time into promoting the sport online, creating the Facebook page, making pretty pictures, encouraging the clubs to also have Facebook, and with that, engage with them, show them we care by celebrating the things they're celebrating. I kind of built up the newsletter that goes out to the membership. Again, I want to show our membership that we do care, that we care about their experiences in croquet. We want to celebrate their wins. We want to encourage competition, but we also want to encourage well-being. And I think with all of the things that I've been able to do, because it's a paid role, I've been able to really dedicate time, and I hope actually make a difference in my sport that I absolutely love.
Right. So you've got a lot of skills, I guess I would say, on that media and marketing side. What I know, like, first of all, you're a website designer, and experience with code as well. So you're on the website side. Are you involved with the magazine as well, the Gazette? Do you do work on that?
Yeah, my my beloved Gazette is just here.
Yeah.
So originally I took the Gazette on as just the editor. And I think it's safe to say that I have slightly changed the content a little bit. I've made it a bit more, less focused on top level croquet, more focused on all round croquet. I think it's important that there's stories about grassroots as well as stories about our top players. Information out there from Croquet England, what we're trying to achieve. But I've also run articles from other countries because I think it's really important that we remember we're part of a bigger picture. Other countries are doing some amazing things. Spain is growing hugely. They're becoming croquet is becoming part of their golf clubs, and they're retaining membership from the golf clubs because they're giving them an additional sport to play. You've got the Egyptians, who are probably some of the most hard hitters that I've ever known. And it's important to know what they're doing, because what can we learn from them in their clubs, in their play, in their teamwork? We're looking at, New Zealand and the work that they're doing with their youth development. It's really important that we all learn from each other. And my little way of doing that is to show people using the Croquet Gazette. And recently we've taken in-house the design of the Gazette, so I've learned some new software. And then we've got a printers who then actually print and distribute it for us.
So you're doing the design yourself? You're working on the design yourself?
Yes.
This is not going to be interesting.
Dare I say it out loud?
What do you use for design software?
So I've got I use Canva partly.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Come on, let's face it.
Mm-hmm.
Put your hands up if you make pretty pictures with Canva. I do it all the time and I love it. And because we're a charity, we get, we might even have it for free. I think we get Canva for free as a charity. And so some of it I work with Canva to create the sort of full size pictures, front cover, for example. And then the rest of the text is then formatted using, I use Scribus, which is, it's a free online, it's a free tool, open source software, which is a little bit like InDesign, I guess.
Gotcha.
But again, because we're a charity, hugely volunteer led, there's no real money for Photoshop and the big tools. So we have to go out and find different ways of operating and more cost effective ways.
Yeah. For the Croquet News, we use Canva and Canva for ad design and mostly more and more, I guess. And then Canva for ad design and then InDesign for basically most of the layout. But
I wish I had InDesign.
It's pricey.
Yeah, I know. And I have actually asked for it, but I've been patient. And I appreciate that we can't afford this kind of software. Does the quality suffer? Probably, but then does the quality suffer because we haven't got an expert doing it? Probably. But we have to work with what we've got, including the people like me. And I hope that we produce something that, as an organisation, we're proud of.
Right. So on the website side, are you, hands-on in the actual website? And also, there's still 2 websites. Is that true?
Yeah, we've got 2 websites. The original website is very membership focused, and it was it still is. So the content hasn't changed for our first website. So this is croquet.org.uk, and the information on this site is ginormous. There's so much there. You can find out about all sorts of things about the game, the laws, the references. It's got historical archives going back forever. It's an amazing tool. But what we were finding was it was an amazing tool for players and officials, but for somebody that just comes in off the street, Googles croquet, and comes up with this website with all of this technical information on it, it wasn't very friendly to the non-croquet player. I actually like to call them not yet croquet player, right, because I'm definitely convinced that all people could be the next croquet player. They just don't know about it yet. So we then thought, okay, well, let's think about how we design a website that is more appropriate to display the more exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was when the new website was born, and it also has the shop on the back of it, where Croquet England provides, products for croquet, and the books. There's lots of books for sale, tactical books. So I think there's the reason we've got the two websites is so that we've specifically got an externally facing website and then an internally facing site, which hopefully the two will work side by side.
And is that the plan going forward, to keep running them separately?
For the moment, definitely for the moment. I don't think that the either website should disappear. I think that if we could somehow merge them, that would be better. So keep all the content, but behind the membership or the subscriber site, as we call it, keep that content behind the public facing site. It's all really just about time, resource, technology, and how we actually physically make it work. For the moment, it's not broke, so let's not fix it.
Right. So you've also been pretty involved in organizing volunteer teams for live streaming for world events that have been in England.
I have. Now, it probably should be noted that this is before the bosses get hold of this lot. I have to say that the volunteering is completely the live streaming is completely volunteering. So it's stated in my contract that I am not to do live streaming as part of my role as the communication support officer. So moving on from that, it's such a fabulous resource for croquet. Whoever does the live streaming, whether it's a paid for resource, whether it's the volunteer effort, I really think it's valuable for our sport, our players, and it could be one day a good resource for coaching. It could be a good resource for developing advertisements, for example, short clips, getting interaction on social media. I personally have really enjoyed doing the live stream. It's quite hard work. At times so I often acted as the director of the live stream. So you're directing about 20 volunteers on any given day, whether they're doing scoring or commentating, or whether they are on the camera work, or they're actually operating the desk, deciding what view people should be watching at home, monitoring the chat, bringing the teas and the coffees and the water to the volunteers, keeping Chris Clark into his alive with his Diet Cokes, finding a bit of cake for Jenny. She likes a bit of cake. It's important to really look after all those volunteers, because they are the ones that help you produce such a valuable tool. I think so, anyway.
Right. Yeah. So, have you seen, I guess in England, it's been a huge effort, from you, like you said, the social, building the second website, that's, public facing, and then the live streaming. Are you seeing results? In England, are you guys seeing growth in the sport? Have you been able to measure that?
the measure of growth is an interesting one. So we're definitely growing in numbers. The clubs are getting more people involved. I'm pretty sure that we'll find when the statistics come out, we do a survey every 5 years. And over the last 2 surveys, we've found that there are more golf croquet players. Okay. Why not? Golf croquet is great fun. And I imagine that the live streaming is probably encouraging that, because there's more golf croquet live stream. I think essentially because it's quite quick to watch. And it's probably in that case easier to live streaming it in a way. What I've seen in the growth of publicity, so more and more news outlets, more and more radio stations are mentioning croquet on their programs. Some of the sporting programs are now starting to mention croquet just in casual, whereas they used to say, oh, have you ever tried the bowls? They'll say, oh, have you ever tried bowls and croquet? We're now getting a little bit of a mention. And I like to think that that's because we're working really hard to work with the press and then the public to show them what a great sport we have. So we're definitely seeing more news items, and also locally, lots more clubs are being able to get their events in the news. And we've got, the mayor comes over and plays croquet, and the schools, we're getting quite a few schools coming in and having a go. Scouts, there's lots of things going on for well-being, inviting different parts of the community and different communities to croquet. So I think that it's a massive joint effort. It's not just marketing, it's not just communications, it's coaching. It's coaching at the club level, and then those people enjoying it so much that they go and find their friends and bring their friends in.
Yeah.
It's more than just marketing. It's a huge joint effort. Yeah,
it's always what I've felt like. I'm like, if you can get somebody on a court and engage them, they get pretty hooked. They get hooked pretty easily, in my opinion. But it's just about getting them to the court and with someone that's engaging and can teach them, which doesn't take long with golf croquet, like you said.
Yeah, 100%. But the thing about golf croquet is it doesn't take long to realise that there's more to it than just whacking a ball through a hoop.
Yeah.
Even to the point where you go, well, where do you whack the ball through the hoop to? Yeah. Can you get nearer to the next hoop to make it easier to make that hoop? For people like you and I who have played a lot of it, that's an obvious thing. But for somebody who's literally just walked on the lawn, that's quite a cool thing.
Yeah, you're right. Some would take for granted, because I came into golf croquet backwards, right? You already knew how to do everything, and then it's a simple way to approach the sport. But if you don't know anything about croquet,
if you don't know anything at all about golf croquet, the little things make the massive differences. Mm-hmm. I went and coached at a club recently. Lovely lady, she was amazing. She phoned me up and she said, Alison, I'm nearby-ish. Would you give me a little bit of coaching? And I said, oh, sure, but I'll have to come to you because I haven't got a lawn at the moment and my other lawn's too far away. And she said, that'd be great. Could I bring a friend? Anyway, about 3 hours later, she's got 16 people signed up. So off I go to this club and do some coaching, and they were amazing. They were so much fun, all of them. But the important thing was I was able to give them just a few tiny things. Like you don't have to power at a ball to just shift it out of the way. If that ball's not running a hoop, then you're kind of in a bit more control than they are.
Yeah.
And it's the simple things like that. Then, of course, if they're not trying to put so much power in, they're not losing the consistency, then they're getting a bit better, and then they're feeling better, and then they're playing better. And that all happens within about 15 minutes. And it's like you can literally see someone's whole game change so quickly just with a few tiny little comments. And okay, I've done that as a coach, but friends can do that with their friends. You know, if you invite someone to the lawn and say, oh, you know, if you just do it a little bit like this, if you just take one small step backwards, the difference in the two shots is like an immediate improvement, and people love it. And that's why croquet is amazing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can't help but think about there's somebody out there playing a real power game that has done really well, but of course we're talking about it, you know, world level there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you must have watched the Open Shore. You know, who didn't watch the Open Shore? So I take an indoor mini court to a community centre. It's 4 rolls of AstroTurf with some bits cut out of it and hoops shoved in the right places. Well, 4 hoops actually. I haven't got that many hoops. But a few of my players there, or one in particular, was obsessed. He's been playing croquet for 3 weeks on a bit of AstroTurf in a community centre. And I go back the next week and he said, I've been watching it all on YouTube. Yeah. Of course you have. Who wasn't watching it? And the hard hitting, I love watching the Egyptians. I do. I can't help it. They're, you know, I don't have favourites. Not going to say it. But it is great to watch. You know, it's great to see. For me, it's great to see Blake Fields, because I met him. I mean, he was actually shorter than me at the time, which is something to be said. Okay,
he's pretty tall now.
He's definitely not now.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, and I love watching his progress. I love watching all the players progress. I love watching, you know, the juniors that come up in the ranks. I love being able to support my team. You know, I love being able to shout at the TV because it's live streamed and say, you know, come on England, and of course chat to all of my friends around. You know, it's it's amazing. And that's, I think, golf croquet. I think golf croquet has come on leaps and bounds, and maybe live streams even helped with it a little bit. It's helped. I think it's helped a lot of AC players see golf croquet. Because let's face it, any croquet player will sit at home and watch croquet if it's on TV. It doesn't really matter what kind of croquet it is, because we're all completely obsessed. And so even if a lot of us hadn't watched golf croquet before, because you wouldn't necessarily sit around at a club and watch it, you will sit at home and watch. And then when you've got Chris Clark on commentary, or Stephen Mulliner, or somebody with that level of experience and that knowledge and the understanding, the AC players are going, oh, that's interesting. Hadn't thought about that before. And so anyway, I could talk for England. I do. But the point is we're very lucky to have a sport where people can rock up at a club and be playing within 10 minutes.
That's a great point. I think that's kind of undersold, is how easy it is to start playing croquet. And, you know, you are fortunate in England where there are more clubs.
Yeah.
But, no matter where I am, I kind of do get people, even regular croquet, just as long as I can get them out in their hand and get them hitting the ball, they're pretty engaged right away. So,
yeah.
We're getting close to the end of our time, but I do have, you know, our ending that we planned here, which I'm going to do a lightning round and ask you a series of really tough questions.
I'll try. Have I got a buzzer?
I don't know. I think it's going to be in my head. And you could pass on question 1 if you want, but I will go ahead and do it. So are you ready for lightning round?
Oh, I'm nervous now. Go on. Yeah, I'm ready.
Wait, well, you can't win anything, but you can't lose anything. All right. What is your age?
43.
Okay. Home base?
Home base.
Yeah, city. Where do you live?
Essex.
Got it. And your club is?
Hundreds of them. Surbiton.
Okay. What kind of grip do you use?
Irish.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of mallet do you play with?
Trimmer.
Trimmer. Okay. What size length of head and yeah, what length of the head?
It's 11 inches long, 31 inches tall, and it weighs 2.8, I think.
Wow. Okay. And so you've been playing for about 12 years then?
I think so. Yeah, I
Okay.
think 12, 11, 12 years. Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
What's your favorite croquet venue?
Wow. Surbiton.
Okay. Favorite tournament?
Favorite tournament. What to play in?
Yeah. Or watch, either one.
Oh, okay. Favorite to play in. Wild Wednesdays in Bowden Croquet Club when you win a Mars bar.
Wow, that sounds like
And favorite tournament to watch has got to be the Mac.
right. Good call. Personal highlights, favorite tournament win.
Um, Winning most improved player was pretty special. Playing in my first world championship 2 years ago was just something else.
Yeah.
I was never going to get through to the knockouts. I was never going to win. But just to be there, it was the most incredible experience. That's not a quick answer, is it? Sorry.
No, that's good.
The world's.
Yeah. Okay. Do you play other sports?
No.
Okay. Do you have any favorite sports teams?
The England croquet team.
There you go. Do you have any pop culture favorites that you want to share, like your favorite TV shows or movies or books or music?
Friends.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Favorite movie, Notting Hill. Or maybe, yeah, Notting Hill. It's Chops and Changes. Love Actually, maybe, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So what would you like to see happen in the sport over the next 10 years?
Oh, good question. I would like to see a healthy growth in the sport at grassroots level,
Okay.
because I think that feeds through to championship level. There are players. What a lot of people don't know about croquet is when you start playing, you can be playing against world champions within 2 or 3 years.
Right.
I always put it in handicap terms because it's easier to go with that. So I started on a handicap 20. Within 2 years, I was a handicap. Well, within 1 year, I was a handicap 5. And that next year, I went and played in my first Open Championship. I was playing against, literally against past world champions. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Having played for a year. Okay, I've got my dad and I watched him play, so I kind of knew the ins and outs of the sport. But even saying that, I've got players now who have only been playing 2 or 3 years and they're playing at that level. And not everybody is going to come into the sport and start playing at championship level because not everyone wants to. But I guarantee most people want to play competitively, whether it's in their club, with each other, with their friends, with their family, with their brothers and sisters, or whether it's competitive against the next club who's down the road, or in a tournament, etc. So everybody who begins to play croquet, you can play to the level of competitiveness that you want, and that goes right from grassroots up. So the grassroots will then feed naturally the top level play. So what I want to see is I want to see us all focused more on the grassroots players.
Yeah.
And how we can help them achieve what they want to achieve, whether it's competitive or not.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that count. Because everybody counts.
Yep, I think that's a good way to look at it. That's what I'm interested in. Everybody, who's you said it had a term for it earlier, but everybody who should be a player, who really is a player but hasn't gotten into the game yet, that's kind of what I like to see as well.
Yeah.
Getting
But
everyone
you see,
in belongs
we
there.
all know somebody that really should be a croquet player. I was talking to someone earlier and they were talking about their daughter. Um, and there was something he said which just sparked me. And I went, does she play? And he went, actually, not yet, no. Can I meet her? Can I introduce her?
Yeah,
Because I hear that she would be perfect for
yeah,
croquet and croquet would be perfect for her. And I think we all know that kind of person. And then we all get hooked. I mean, I don't know a single croquet player who hasn't sat at a dinner table and moved the salt shaker around going, yeah, but if you put your ball here,
yeah.
we're all obsessed. But you know that kind of person before they step onto a lawn.
Great. Okay. Well, that's it. We've got everything here. I appreciate you taking the time today, and I hope you are able to find a glass of wine here in a little bit. And maybe we got under 21 coming up in about a month. Maybe we can get together again and talk about that one before or
I'd love
after.
to. I also thank you so much for having me on your show, and thank you so much for doing this. I did a few interviews with a few people, and they're really valuable for the rest of the community to see what's going on. And it's an archive that we will have forever. You'll have me talking about wine forever.
Well, we're going to try to keep this going. It's been a commitment for this year to get our channel going and try to do kind of what we're doing here. So, and a little bit more, hopefully. But thank you.
Amazing. Great to see you.